Hello and welcome to the Mind of Sunnyvale. I am Wanda, aka Sunnyvale, and I would like to welcome you to my channel. And please don't forget, if you haven't already, remember to subscribe, like, comment, and share this video with anyone you think would enjoy it. So today I'm going to be doing something maybe a little different that I don't know, maybe you haven't heard of, but this is a food that I grew up eating when I was younger, and I wanted to share it with my children. And it is zucchini muffins. Yes, I know those two don't go together. It's not a savory muffin, it's a sweet muffin. But yes, it is a zucchini muffin, and it's a little change on, the regular blueberry muffin or bran muffin or whatever you usually have in the morning. So I'm going to share this recipe with you. My family really loves it. My kids actually request this recipe. So when I say my family loves it, I really mean it. So the first thing we're going to do is go over our ingredients and the supplies we'll need so we can make this recipe. So let's start with the ingredients first. I have 1 1/2 cup of AP or all-purpose flour. There is 1 cup of granulated sugar. That's just regular white sugar that you use in your everyday uses. And then this is really easy. This is the halves. 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. Now, I will say, when I make it, I actually bump the cinnamon up to 1 full teaspoon, but that's my preference. You could make it with the 1/2 and it would still be good, but I just wanted a little more cinnamon, so I bump it up to 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. And you'll see I have all of them in one bowl together. Yes, that wasn't a mistake. They're all going in at the same time, and because it's not in stages, it's not a problem for me to put them all in one container together and then just dump it in because they go in at the same time. And hey, I saved some dishes, so fewer things for me to wash, or for my kids really to wash. So we also have 2 large eggs. They're just cracked and in a bowl. We will be mixing that in later. And then we have 1/2 cup of melted butter. So this butter I melted earlier and I let it cool down a little bit. You'll see why when we get to that step, but it's cooled down a little bit, and we will need that. 1/2 cup is actually like a full 8 tablespoon stick. I know it seems like a lot, but it really isn't a lot. I don't think so, at least. And then, of course, we have the star of the recipe, and that is the zucchini. This is 2 cups of shredded zucchini. So I literally just put it on a grater, and with my grater side with the larger holes, and I just grated the zucchini. And this was actually 2, I guess, small zucchinis. I thought they were medium, but maybe they were closer to small. So that is all for the ingredients. Really short list, really short list. Of course, we will need a bowl to mix it in. Have our mixing bowl. I have a whisk and a spatula, and I also have a fork. I will be using that later. You'll see why. I actually scoop it out with just a measuring cup. This is a 1/4 cup measuring cup, because you need to fill it to about 3/4 full. So I just use this to weigh it out, measure it out with. And then of course we need the 12 cup muffin tin, and I use paper cups when I make muffins, just because I just don't like to sit it directly in the pan. And also it's easy cleanup because the mess doesn't get on the pan, and I can just wipe it down really quickly, clean it, put it away, use it again. So those are our ingredients. And of course, how could I forget, you will have to preheat the oven to 350 degrees. So now it's time for us to start mixing. I start with the flour. Get all of that in there. Then I add in the sugar. And then this is all the baking powder, baking soda, the salt, and the cinnamon. So that all goes in there. And now I'm just going to whisk to combine. I can smell the cinnamon. I really, really, really like cinnamon. And I can smell it. That's why I bumped it up a little bit when I make it, but you can smell the cinnamon. So I don't see any large sections of cinnamon or sugar. So I think that is very well combined. Now this is why I said you might want to let the butter cool down just a bit, because we're going to actually mix the butter and the eggs together before adding it to the dry mixture. And if your butter is too hot, it can actually start to cook your eggs. We don't want that. So I have a metal pan here. Yes, I actually ran out of glass bowls. My favorite is glass bowls, but I actually ran out. So I'm just getting all that melted butter out of there. And then I'm actually going to break my eggs up a little bit before I mix it in with the butter, just so they will incorporate easier. And I'm actually just using the fork, like I said earlier. I don't have to get a whisk or anything for this step. It's really just easily mixing it. So I'm just mixing the eggs and the butter. And these will go into the dry ingredients. Alrighty. So now I'm going to pour the egg and butter mixture into the dry ingredients. And I don't need a whisk at this point. I can just use my spatula because we're trying to mix this until it's just moist, basically. Because a lot of the moisture actually is going to come from the zucchinis. I don't want to over mix it, but I think it's starting to get moist. There we go. So now it's time for me to really just dump the zucchini in. And again, this is where a lot of your moisture comes from. The zucchini, it has a lot of moisture. And again, that was 2 cups of shredded, I guess more grated zucchini. Put that to the side. And then I'm just trying to mix the zucchini in. And I know what you're thinking. You're looking at this and you're like, I don't know if I want that. You do, trust me, it's really good. As I said, I kid you not, my kids actually request this recipe. Hey, it's a sneaky way to get some greens in, right? Even though it's lots of butter and sugar. But there's green stuff, so, you know, it's not all bad. So you can see how the mixture is changing. And there we go. So now that I've thoroughly mixed it, it's time for me to get my muffin tin and start putting them into the paper cups. Then it goes in the oven. So now that we have our mixture, it's time to put it into the muffin cups. As I said, I like to use the paper muffin cups when I bake because it's easier to clean up. And sometimes the metal can have kind of a aftertaste to me in your food when it goes directly in the pan, in the muffin tin. So I use paper cups. And these actually, I really like these. You can see they have really cute designs on them. I actually got these from IKEA. This is not a paid plug. I just really like them. I like this height of theirs, the size, and they come in cute designs. So if you're looking for muffin cups, they actually have those at IKEA. So I'm just cleaning all that extra batter off of there because I don't really need my spatula anymore. And like I said, this is a 1/4 cup measuring cup, and I use this to fill the muffin cups. And if I think if I have a little more, and I can go back and refill it, but I kind of start less is more because there's nothing worse than filling your muffin cups and then getting to the end and you don't have enough for the last one. So this is about 1/4 cup, and I'm just going to keep filling these till I get to the end. So almost done here. Just going to keep filling these. So now that I've filled all of them, I can go back and check to see. Some of them have a little less filling than others, so I'm just going back and checking for ones I can add a little more filling to, because I was a little stingy in the beginning. Now I'm scraping the bowl. I see one or two that could use a little more love, so I'll use my spoon. There's a little bit left in here. I don't want to waste any of this, so I'm putting it in there. So there we go. So now that my muffin cups are filled, they look about 3/4 full to me. So now that they're full, it's time to put them in the oven. Again, I preheated it to 350 degrees. So I put it in the oven. It cooks from 22 to 25 minutes. But as I say all the time, everyone's oven is different. And, you know, mine might cook faster versus yours. So I always start to check before the earliest time. I obviously like to rotate halfway through. So at about 11 minutes, I'm going to rotate it, check on them, make sure they're cooking fine. But, you know, you can always tell, is it browning? Has it risen? Does it look done? You can always test it with your toothpick to find out. So these are ready to go in the oven, and then we get to taste test. Yay, my favorite part. So I let the muffins cook for 22 minutes at 350 degrees. Again, I rotated halfway through. So at the 11-minute mark, I rotated it. I did another 11. They seemed like they could go a little longer. Let it go 2 minutes, so about 24 minutes. And then I took a toothpick, stuck it in the center, came out clean, so I knew they were ready. I let it cool off for 5 minutes, and now I'm going to try one. So I'm going to actually peel my little paper cup. And I usually just eat these either plain, because they're like a snack. Sometimes they're breakfast, but just a little bit of butter. So I'm just going to get a little, add some softened butter here. And I like to put it on the inside. So there. And then I'm going to try a bite. It's very good. It's very good. You can see there's zucchini all throughout, but I don't get like a zucchini taste. I don't know if that makes sense, but it doesn't taste like I'm eating vegetables. It just tastes like a muffin. But yes, it's very good, very moist. And it's a change from maybe your basic or the regular blueberry muffin. Now, I love blueberry muffins. But if you want to change of pace, this is a little something different you can do. My kids love it. Maybe your family will too. I think they will, but give it a try. Let me know in the comments what you think. Let me know if you tried it or if you made any changes to it. Like I changed the amount of cinnamon. Maybe you made your own edits. So let me know in the comments. As always, remember to like, subscribe, comment, share the video, and I hope you all have a Sunnyvale day. Goodbye.